Welcome back to CBS Sports HQ. We just broke down the latest AP Top 25 poll, but what will the new college football playoff rankings look like? Here's what our own Brad Crawford predicts the new CFP rankings will look like come Tuesday. This is not his projection for the final rankings. Something that does stand out here. Brad still has Alabama in the top 12 at 12 after the Tide suffered their second unranked loss of the season to Oklahoma yesterday. In the top 5, no more Indiana. They fall to 7. However, it does make some room for Notre Dame, who jumps Penn State there in the top 5. From the ACC, Brad now has 2 teams in the top 12 as SMU makes their way in at 10. Brad Crawford is with us. And Brad, I want you to walk us through your thought process here, and I'm going to need you to explain yourself with Alabama still in at 12.
Yeah, so Alabama right now as the 12 seed, they would actually be the first team out on the bubble since the Big 12 champion would be that 5th conference champion. So you're probably going to have, Iowa State or Arizona State get that 12 seed, bumping Bama out. But I'll be curious to see, Jordan, Tuesday night, where the committee puts Alabama. How far in front of Ole Miss are they? Is South Carolina maybe in that 13 or 12 spot ahead of Alabama despite losing to the Crimson Tide? We mentioned during the break that, Alabama won that game against South Carolina 6 weeks ago, but the Gamecocks have not lost a game since. And South Carolina beat Oklahoma by 35-9 in Norman, and Alabama just lost by 3 touchdowns last night. So Alabama's treading on thin ice right now. I do have them, as we speak, as the first team out of Tuesday night's rankings.
And another team you could pinpoint and make a valid argument in terms of being in the top 12. What about Clemson as well?
Yeah.
I think Clemson and South Carolina, who, oh, by the way, will play each other this upcoming weekend, could have a strong, legit case to try to, state their case and why they should be in the top 12, because you talked about it, Brad. Alabama did beat South Carolina. They barely beat South Carolina, and that was weeks ago. But if we were able to see those 2 teams play today, who do we believe will win that ball game? Who's playing better football right now? I think we all would say, if you're not tied to Alabama, I think we all would say South Carolina. And the same can be said for Clemson. I understand Clemson had a hiccup a few weeks ago, but when you look at what they've done over the last few weeks, they've been playing inspired football as well. It's been an emotional roller coaster with Alabama, and they're too good of a team to lose the teams they're not supposed to lose. Tennessee is one thing. Committee in college football, they view that as a good loss. But losing to Vandy and losing how you lost last night to Oklahoma, dominated from start to finish, not even scoring a touchdown, that's not good at all. And I understand the projections are the projections, but when you look at what Alabama has done recently, I don't know if they will be in the top 12 because of teams like South Carolina or Clemson.
I'm glad that you brought up Clemson here, because right now, Brad, as we mentioned, you have Miami and SMU in the top 12. But with all the shakeup in the SEC, also in the Big 12, do you agree potentially that there could be 3 ACC teams in the top 12 come Tuesday night?
Come Tuesday night, probably not. But I think in the final poll, if we get more chaos, it could happen. I think that scenario would be Clemson winning the ACC. If Miami loses to Syracuse next week, then Clemson is in that game against SMU. If SMU wins the ACC, they're obviously in. If Clemson beats a top 15 South Carolina, I don't see how you keep the Tigers out with a quality win down the stretch, too. So there is a slight chance the ACC puts 3 teams in. But I do think Clemson's season, as Bryant mentioned, will probably be decided at home against the Gamecocks next Saturday during rivalry weekend. That's why right now I have SMU and Miami as my 2 ACC teams.
And, Brad, to your point, I think before the chaos that we witnessed yesterday, I felt like best case scenario, the ACC would get 1 team in. Now, because of the chaos, who knows? Maybe more than 1 team can get in from the ACC. And with that opening, you talk about the winner of the ACC getting in, and maybe the 3rd best team, because I don't know if they would warrant a loss, that the team that lost the ACC championship game still be able to get in. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, it's Miami and SMU. Let's say the winner of that ball game gets in. But what if Clemson beats South Carolina, to your point? right? That's a quality win, especially with how good South Carolina has been playing, and along with the chaos that might pave the window of opportunity for a team like Clemson to get in, even though they did not play for the ACC championship. And I'm just only speaking based on the chaos that we just witnessed, and maybe a few more things happening this upcoming Saturday as well.
Brad, I'll let you have the final word here.
I mean, I think he's right about that. If Clemson finishes 10-2, does not make the ACC championship game, but hangs a crooked number on South Carolina next Saturday, a team that's won 5 straight games and has consistently moved up the polls the last few weeks, I think Clemson would have a great shot at being that last team in. And if I'm the Big Ten championship game loser between Ohio State and Oregon, I don't want that 5 seed and playing Dabo Swinney in the first round. That'd be a crazy 12-5 game.
Oh, well, it's going to be a good one. We'll be looking forward to it. Kicks off at noon next Saturday from Clemson. Before we go, we got to let you know about some important college football dates that you need to know. Selection Day is on Sunday, December 8th. We will have live coverage right here on CBS Sports HQ that you're going to want to tune in for. The first round of the college football playoff will begin on December the 20th. And, of course, the national title game on January 20th in Atlanta.